The world of boxing that you currently know about right now is forever and always changing. So much so to where, whether it may be the title or the opponent, there is just so much fucking going on, since there are so many different weight divisions and so many different prospects to really keep your name and keep your eyes on, that you can't really talk about anything or everything at once. So I'm going to try to do my damnedest in this brand new series, round by round, to more or less remedy a little bit of that, because I kind of find that to be one of my biggest hurdles whenever it comes to trying to make videos, is that I want to try to give everything a dedicated time, and let's say, well, I don't know, 8+ minutes to genuinely try to talk about, but sometimes you really can't. And at the end of the day, even if it is still important enough for me to talk about, I should still be able to get to it. And also, I kind of like these longer structured form of videos where I can kind of break up and get to multiple different sources of information and add it at once. It just took a little bit of a while for me to figure out exactly how I wanted to do it, whether it may have been through the face or whether it may have been through like some kind of weird commentary shit with the gameplay in the background. Y'all see me uploading games, so for whatever it is, I kind of be like, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone. I mean, why the hell not use the gameplay, right? George Kambosos had just got done, let's say about 3 weeks ago, conducting an interview with FightHide.com. He discusses not only both losses, but also exactly where he's been, really, after the second fight. Right back into the gym, which I absolutely love to hear. He talks about how, for whatever it is, it's been, well, not really anything like how it was in the first fight with the very first loss, where it did kind of do something to him, and it kind of did put him in, let's say, a tad bit of a different headspace, especially for the second fight. They both wanted to win very, very badly, but he still gives props to Devin, and at this point in time, it seems as if that those two have an extremely strong fucking relationship. But he also had something fairly interesting to say about his old opponent, Teofimo Lopez. But it's enough for me. Thank you, FightHide. Let me go ahead and let George speak for himself.
He's a special fighter. You know, he's got a beautiful jab, he's got great speed. His power did increase from the first fight to the second fight. Maybe because he sat there more, he tried to trade more and sit on his shots, but I thought a little bit of difference there. And just his movements, you know, he restricts his target where you can land your shots, minimises that, and then all of a sudden, when you do land one shot, he's gone, then he's back again in that distance, and he can land and tag you with his shots. So, you know, all props to him, man. Me and him show a lot of respect to each other. We're talking to each other now, and you know, like I said, I'm in his corner, I know he's in my corner, and we'll see what the future holds. You know, I know he'll probably move up, and I'm looking to regain another world title at 135, where I make it very, very comfortable.
See, this is one of the various reasons as to why I love the sport. You can really share the ring with an individual, beat the shit out of one another, and then really learn how to just have so much fucking love and respect afterwards. It's crazy. It's crazy. 24 rounds of hitting each other in the face will genuinely do that to one another. But, George, come on now. Do not sit here and wait for him to leave and go to 140 just so you can dominate at 135. Tank is finna be out of here within like the next 3 years or so, and we already know damn well that everyone else that is still here, you can easily take on seemingly.
But George, I wouldn't say after TO you and him communicate after.
No, and I'll tell you now, between me and Teofimo right now, he can go fuck himself or something like that, because he's consistently been a sport great, a guy that won't accept defeat. I beat his ass. I beat him up that bad that I damaged him. None of this bullshit, you know, medical bullshit. Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence. Show nobody. So that guy can keep crying, keep sucking. You know what? He'll never get his zero back. I took it.
What I'm about to say isn't really that much of a hard concept to genuinely grasp, but Teofimo Lopez is what you would like to call a bitch. Not necessarily somebody who you would actually want to go out of your way and say is respectable, because it's one thing to not necessarily, I don't know, like take a good fucking loss as a good fucking loss, right? But then for you to continuously be talking shit to the person that you lost 2 years later that you don't want to rematch is even more bitch made than I could even sit here and try to continuously elaborate on. But how about this? It doesn't really matter as long as you're on your own shit, and that for whatever it is, you continuously win, and you continue to win in, let's say, convincing fashion. And we mean convincing fashion. Doesn't mean that you aren't going to be going up against some hard-hitting individuals, some people who are really going to put some goddamn, sweat on your motherfucking me, bro. They're going to make you work for a motherfucking me win. But also, 100%, we know that this is a sport of robbery. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, you motherfuckers get paid too goddamn much to be out here robbing shit.
They don't know good music when they hear it.
So Tio's most recent outing or / performance was against Sandor Martin, I'm pretty sure about like 2 days ago at this point. it wasn't as if that the fight itself wasn't competitive, wasn't extremely close, but also everyone was able to come to a unanimous decision that Sandor Martin had really outworked and really had adapted enough to Tio's style ever since the very first rounds of the fight, ever since Tio tried to switch up on him in the middle and continued to dominate and adapt all the way near the motherfucking end. It was pretty easy to see that Sandor's entire fucking game plan, though, was to continue to circle the ring until he got comfortable enough with being up against the ropes, then catching Tio with some type of counter as he came in like he did in the second. He did also get some type of knockdown or some form of knockdown in the third that they didn't really count, but at the end of the day, it just is what it is. Doesn't really matter to me. I will just say that the only problem that everyone's having with Tio right now is that we as in the party that thinks that he lost, and this is honestly some type of robbery, is because not only was the judges' scorecards completely let's say, like, not reminiscent of what actually happened. It was an extremely close fight. It wasn't as if that Sandor only walked away with 2 rounds apiece from, like, what, 2 of the fucking judges. I'll get to that in a minute. But it was also just to the point to where we, as fucking fight fans, didn't really see too many incremental changes or massive fucking, let's say, adaptations to Teofimo's quote-unquote arsenal that really made us say, like, okay, well, at least he got better, at least he improved, and at least he's doing this and that. No, he still keeps his head on the center line. He still gets caught up with shit that easily he could fuck around and, let's say, see coming with his great reaction time if he just implemented head movement. But no. And on top of that, he still kind of tries to implement this weird Philly shell type of fighting style with his hands still being low. Tio, at the end of the day, cannot go up against extremely hard-hitting, extremely rough-ass individuals like Regis Prograis. I don't ever see him going up against somebody like Josh Taylor either. 140 is going to be a complete enigma of a motherfucking weight division, because right now, it seems as if that he wanted to move up from 135 to try to increase his power, but you're not easily going to be able to get there. I'm sorry. You're dealing with the likes of Sandor Martin, previously mentioned Regis Prograis, and so many other great fucking fighters. I'm sorry. And me and everybody else here just doesn't necessarily, I don't know. We're not really here for it, Tio. But it is what it is. I guess congrats, but I mean, I honestly feel as if that shit was a robbery. I mean, why'd you have to steal from him, Tio? Come on.
Your winner by split decision. And still WBO International and the new NABF Junior Welterweight Champion, the Takeover, Teofimo Lopez.
2 of the judges had scored it for Teofimo, 96-93, 97-92. The one for Sandor Martin was 95-94. Now, let me go ahead and just do a quick rundown on how exactly judges score things and just make it a little bit easier for people who don't know anything of what the fuck I said. Within a 12-round fight, if you ever get scored something like 97-92, you won essentially around 10 to 11 of those rounds, and 96-93 is around to you winning 9 to 10 of those rounds. 95-94, 97-96, any numbers that are essentially either 1-1, which is a draw, or 1 point away from one another, you were only able to take a singular round off of that person to make the fucking difference. I think what everyone is really starting to be, let's say, upset about is the fact that we all watched the same fight. So weirdly enough, to see the scorecard in the way in which they are doesn't make any sense. There were not 10 clean rounds. There were not even 3 clean rounds where Teofimo Lopez had his name seemingly in the books solidified for that round. There were not 3 legitimate rounds where back to back to back he was consistently able to keep his own pace, fight his own goddamn fight. He was always having to fight Sandor's fight, and Sandor, even though it was not easy, was able to pull it off and able to make him play his game. That's what we're all fucking upset about. If you are not too familiar with Caleb Sweet Hands Plant or the Mexican monster David Benividez, I would highly recommend that you guys go ahead and please get fucking educated, because this fight is finna be fucking insane. We've yet to receive an actual legitimate fight date on everything yet, but it is still coming, and we do believe that it will be coming around early 2023, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm not going to lie, this is going to be one of those fights where it shakes up and absolutely blows up the fucking middleweight division. These are the types of fights that you genuinely need to get people to know that you're even fucking fighting. Because, wholehearted honesty, the middleweights don't get a lot of recognition or a lot of love as much as the lightweights or as much as the heavyweights do. I don't really know as to why, but I probably can say because since heavyweights are the heavyweights, it's always going to be the literal biggest division fucking ever. But on top of that, the lightweights happen to be the most stacked than they ever have been in fucking decades. So that's why it seems so interesting to get back into the lightweight division and everything like that now as well. But I do think that the middleweights have still always been my fucking favorite. And for whatever it is, these two are going to put on a fucking masterclass. It may not be the most technical fight in the world, but good fucking God, we are going to see an absolutely full-on display from both of them. I do think that Caleb is going to be taking the win, though, mainly due to the fact that his technical, let's say, somewhat perfected Philly shell is going to be enough of a problem for David to not even be able to get around with. The only thing that I really do see, or I can actually say that David really does have going in his corner, is that puncher's chance. He has so much fucking power in both hands, and he honestly has been able to show and prove that he has great fucking stamina as well. Homeboy is going to really be in there and fucking fitting the whole moniker of a monster, so hopefully them sweet ass hands can really help Caleb in this fucking fight, because good God, is it going to be a great one. I still think he's going to pull it off, but don't really know how. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if anything, shit, stay safe.